Fusion Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
Welcome to you on this platform. This is Fusion Mobile e-learning platform, and I am Sheriff Olaito, your civic education tutor, and today we shall be considering political apathy. We shall be treating the meaning, we shall be treating the forms of political apathy, we shall be treating the reasons why people show apathy towards politics. We shall be talking about why leaders fail to protect the interests of their followers, and we shall be talking about the protection of followers' interests by leaders. Let's take a quick look at the meaning of apathy. The Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary defines apathy as lack of interest, enthusiasm, or concern, while the Longman Dictionary of Contemporary English defines apathy as a feeling of not being interested in something and not willing to make any effort to change or improve things. In essence, political apathy is a form of indifference on the part of citizens of any country towards political activities such as elections, public opinions, civic responsibilities, and so on. It is this lack of interest in politics by citizens of a country that we call political apathy. Political apathy can equally be called or defined as a tendency of some members of a society to shun political activities in their country. It is the feeling of not being interested in political programs and activities by the people of a country. For example, refusal to join political parties, register or vote in election, dislike for political activities, and so on and so forth. What are we saying in essence? Political apathy is that lack of interest towards political activities of a particular country by a particular citizen. For instance, if I, Sheriff, decide to choose not to vote in the upcoming election, that means I have shown apathy towards voting. If I chose not to partake in any of the electioneering activity coming next in the country, that means I'm showing apathy towards politics. If I fail to showcase or indicate my interest in contesting for election, and if I fail or if I decide not to concern myself with the activities of the country when it comes to public opinions, civic responsibilities, and so on, then we can say I have shown apathy to politics. Of course, apathy is a negative behavior. It is not expected of any member of a country. Sometimes, people of a state or country do not seem to be interested or enthusiastic about the political activities of their country. When this happens, there is political apathy. The degree of apathy varies from one society to another and depends on the experiences of individuals or groups. Through these experiences, they may feel rejected by society or incapable of making meaningful contributions that will influence the political system in any way. Political apathy can bring stagnation to the development of a nation if left uncontrolled. This is because where the citizens do not partake in political activities, it is an opportunity for mediocres to gain control of politics and direct their affairs of the country the way they want, regardless of criticism by the members of that country. Political apathy is observed in every society, be it in the developed world or the developing countries. For instance, it was said in the 2016 United States of America election that up to less of the voter population of the United States of America who are eligible to vote did not come out to vote for either Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump in the election. This is a form of political apathy, and it is very, very unhealthy. Most of those who did not vote in the United States election was alleged to lead a street-wide statewide and nationwide protests against the emergence of Donald Trump as the political or president-elect of the United States of America. And even they had come out initially to vote for the candidates of their choice in person of Hillary Clinton. Perhaps the protest that followed the election might not need to occur. For a nation like Nigeria to develop and make our laws to function well, there must be a high level of political awareness and participation, such that the ruled and the rulers will serve as a check on one another. This is difficult where there is political apathy. Of course, it will be very difficult to check on the activities of the government or the activities of the people if there is apathy on the political affairs in a particular country, especially Nigeria. Now that you have taken this, the meaning of political apathy, a question is going to pop up right in front of you. Consider attempting the question, provide answers to them, and get back into the lesson. You're welcome back. Now that we have discussed political apathy to mean lack of interest or enthusiasm towards the political activities of a particular country, then we can now proceed to talk about the forms of political apathy. Like we said earlier, there are levels and forms of political apathy in different countries. Political apathy manifests in various ways. This is because people react differently to situations. The various forms of political apathy include the following. 1. Refusal to register and vote. One of the conditions that voters are required to satisfy is registration. In Nigeria, INEC is the electoral body which conducts the election. So, of course, the voter registration exercise may suffer a setback due to the fact that many people decide or may decide to stay back during voter registration exercise. This is a form of political apathy, and this is a form of voluntary disenfranchise. For instance, those who have not been registered in election may not be eligible to vote during the election. Sometimes, some state governments declare public holidays for this exercise. Unfortunately, despite this fact, many people may still decide to stay back and due to lack of enthusiasm and political will. Refusal to belong to political parties. Many citizens who can form or belong to political parties, which can indeed make a difference in elections, are not interested, and they just watch others forming weak parties which cannot capture any seat in the election. Unwillingness to contest election. Many qualified people who are supposed to contest for election and represent duly the interest of the masses have decided not to partake in politics or shy away from politics. This is a form of political apathy as well. The refusal to sponsor a candidate or political party. Some rich businessmen, for instance, Dangote, may decide not to sponsor qualified candidates or political parties who have the interests of the masses at mind. They have the money to throw around for other activities, but not for political affairs, not to promote the political affairs of the country. This lack of interest is known as political apathy. Non-involvement in electioneering campaigns. This is a form of political apathy because some people do not want to get involved in either in debates, rallies, discussions, seminars, meetings, or other activities of the electioneering campaigns. Unwillingness to cross-check names on the voters' register. The Electoral Commission displays voters' register before the election. This is to enable people cross-check to ensure that their names are not omitted, wrongly spelled, or put in a wrong polling center. People refuse to do this exercise and may end up not voting as a result. In fact, most people do not even bother to check their names at polling units because they are really not interested in voting when the election comes. Refusal to vote during the election. This is almost the worst form of political apathy. When election comes, many people decide to stay back in the house, watching movies, listening to music, watching the affairs that is even going on the television, but we decide not to come out and vote. Most of who, when the election results come out, will be the first to complain and say there was rigging or manipulation. This kind of stay back at home during electioneering process, during voting, is known as political apathy, and it is not encouraged for any citizen to stay back at home when they are eligible to vote for a candidate in the election. Refusal to protest against election malpractices. Some people even vote, and when they vote and their vote does not count, due to the fact that the election has been manipulated or rigged by a particular party or the government in power, they decide to stay back at home. They do not protest against the manipulation and rigging of these election results. This is also a form of political apathy. There are so many ways you can protest peacefully against the manipulation and rigging of election results. You can write petitions, you could write petitions, you could join protest marches, you could do demonstrations, you could, of course, sue perhaps the party that rigged the election to court. There are certain reasons for political apathy, one of which is bad governance. Some people are so fed up that they do not want to believe in the government's activities or exercise again. They do not even want to partake in politics at all because in the past they have voted and the result of their voting have not really counted. Why? Perhaps because the government have not really catered for their interests as promised in the previous election and administration and tenure. Of course, this could lead to certain withdrawal of interest in politics and lead to political apathy. Unfulfilled political promises is another reason why some people decide not to partake in politics. When people have promised, when government have promised to carry out certain activities during their tenure and they fail to do so, this could dissuade the people from participating in politics in subsequent years. Political culture. The political culture of a nation is the behavioral disposal. The political culture of a nation is the behavioral disposition of people towards their government as expressed in the belief that politics is a dirty game. What is done is not their business because a certain set of people are meant for the task. They believe that only atheists or those who are not serious believers can join politics. In a society where this type of political culture thrives, people develop political apathy. Of course, when you have too many people in a particular area who believe politics is for the strong, politics is for those who do not bear God's faith in mind, people who are not religious, people who are not spiritual, people who are corrupt, people who do not have conscience are those who are supposed to be in politics. If this kind of political culture persists in a particular country or nation, then there is high tendency for political apathy to exist. Then the problem of illiteracy. Some people cannot read and write, they cannot distinguish between their right and left. Of course, illiteracy is a menace, and this could lead to political apathy. Of course, the illiterate population feels they cannot make much impact on the political process. This makes them develop feelings of helplessness and frustration, which eventually make them to withdraw from politics. Discrimination against women. In some societies, women are not allowed to play active roles in politics. For instance, it is said in Nigeria that the proportion of women participating in politics to men is quite low. Some religions such as Islam some religions even forbid women from getting involved in politics or taking leadership roles. Some men even believe that a woman's place is in the kitchen, to the extent that when a woman makes a bold move into politics, she is frustrated by the men. Such women may withdraw and may never come back to politics. Of course, an example that comes to mind is the recent statement that was made by President Muhammadu Buhari that I do not know which party my wife belongs to, but I know she belongs to my kitchen, my sitting room, and in the other room. This was a response to the First Lady's outburst on a social media, on a media platform, on BBC to be more precise, that she may not support her husband in 2019 if things continue to go on the way it was going on. Violence during elections. Some politicians use words of violence against their opponents during electioneering campaigns. Others hire political thugs to intimidate their opponents. This, of course, could lead to political apathy by the people. Rigging of elections. It is often said that your vote is your weapon to change an unpopular government. But in a situation where your vote does not really count, and election has been manipulated, results have been rigged, and the person that is so unpopular and could not win has been announced as the winner of the election. This can dissuade the interest of the people from continue in political activities, and this can, of course, lead to political apathy. Inadequate independence of the judiciary. Of course, when the judiciary is not independent enough, when the affairs of the judiciary is being interfered and their independence is being trampled upon, of course, this can lead to political apathy of the people, especially when electoral cases are being adjudicated in such ways that are not fair, in such ways that have become so obvious that some party have found their way around bribing the judiciary. Electoral disputes are taken to the judiciary, of course, and when the desired result does not come out, of course, it could lead to political apathy. Now we are going to talk about why leaders fail to protect followers' interest. When the season for election approaches, political parties and their candidates prepare seriously by writing manifestos. Each political party tries to present a better manifesto that would sell their ideology to the electorate. Some of these promises are so irresistible that the electorates become convinced. However, it is unfortunate that some of the leaders forget their election promises as soon as they are sworn into office and fail to protect the interests of the same people who voted them into power. Some of the reasons have been given to explain this ugly development, and here are some of them. And of course, before we go ahead, it is quite worthy of note that these reasons that we are about to give out to us are capable of dissuading people's interest from politics and eventually lead to political apathy. Many people go into politics in the developing nations to acquire money and become rich. This is a selfish interest, a selfish motive. It explains why some of them are ready to eliminate anyone who stands on their way. This makes them to become selfish and no longer bother about the interests of their followers. Of course, selfishness is one major thing that can lead the government to fail to protect the political interests of their followers. Party interest. Many leaders protect the interests of their party more than the interests of the people. They are more loyal to the party more than they are loyal to the people. If they are about to carry out a particular policy, if that policy is not really supported by the party, they tend to leave the policy behind instead of considering the interest of the masses, that this thing is going to be so favorable to the masses. They tend to be more loyal to the political party. This is another reason why so many leaders fail to protect the interests of their followers. Poverty. There is still widespread poverty in Nigeria, and as a result of this, people are easily influenced and bought over with money. Poverty forces people to sell their votes, which are the only weapon they have to vote out on an unpopular government. Sometimes, political parties and their candidates give money to people to make them vote for them. When such politicians come to power, they do not protect the interests of their followers because they have bought their votes. It is commonly said that if you receive a right before election to vote for a particular party and you vote for that party, then you must have received what you are entitled to for the next 4 years. Of course, this is truth, because when the government that gave you so many things when they were trying to contest election get there, the first thing they try to reap back is the money that they spent during election. This is so unfortunate, and it is one of the reasons why bad governance come in place, and so many leaders cannot protect the interests of their followers and sustain their interests so as to avoid political apathy. Fake manifesto. Some just reel out fake manifestos, fake campaign promises, and so on and so forth. When they get there, they are not able to achieve this because they have said so many unfeasible projects. They have stated so many things that are so unfeasible, that are so non-feasible. So, therefore, they are not able to carry out these things during election. These are enough to piss off so many electorates in subsequent elections and dissuade their interest. And one of the reasons why the government, the leaders, cannot sustain the interests of their followers in elections. Lack of accountability. Certain governments come to power and carry on as if they are not accountable to the people. They embezzle or misappropriate funds meant to take care of the welfare of the masses or to carry out developmental projects. When they leave office, they are not properly audited and some get away with their loot. Of course, these are things that are enough to dissuade the interest of certain individuals and the masses from participating in politics, and it is called the failure of leaders to protect the interest of the masses. Corruption, of course, mismanagement of funds, misappropriation of funds, and so on. These are more ways through which the leaders fail to protect the interest of their followers. Inactive opposition. When the opposition party in the country is not strong enough to put the government in power on their toes, then there is the tendency that they do anyhow they like, and this could lead to the lack of protection of the interest of the masses in politics. Now, we're going to talk about how good leaders protect the interest of their followers. A leader is a person who shows the way and guides another person or group of persons to attain a goal or accomplish a task. In government, leaders are persons who occupy positions of authority in society. They are representatives of the people. Some leaders are elected, while others are selected or appointed. The following are some of the leaders. We have traditional rulers, we have local government chairmen and councillors, members of the State House of Assembly, governors, members of the National House of Assembly and House of Representatives, Senate and House of Representatives, ministers, elder statesmen, and presidents. The leaders can protect the interests of their followers in a good number of ways. 1. Provision of adequate security. It is the duty of the good leaders to protect lives and properties of their followers. They do this through the police force and the law courts. They should ensure that their followers lie down and sleep in peace without any threat to their lives and properties by armed robbers, terrorists, or other criminals. Provision of social amenities. Good leaders should ensure that their followers enjoy certain social amenities, such as good health care, good roads, potable water, and so on and so forth. Protection of human rights. The inalienable rights of people should be protected. This will ensure and protect the interests of the masses. Provision of employment opportunities, provision of reliable and non-interferable judicial system, opening direct communication lines with the people. Of course, when the government or the leader are able to communicate directly with the people, they tend to protect more the interests of their followers. Maintenance of law and order, and then good leaders enact laws which protect the interests of their followers. If this is carried out through the legislature, they will not make oppressive laws that would enslave or impoverish their followers. By this, the interest of the followers in politics can be ensured. and will be protected. Having taken this after the other, I believe you must have learned 1 or 2 lessons in this particular topic, political apathy. And the major lesson that we want you to derive in this lesson is that it is not good to form apathy towards the political exercise and activities of the country. Therefore, having taken the topic one after the other and considering the topic meaning, the subtopic meaning and forms, reasons for political apathy, why leaders fail to protect the people's interest, and finally, protection of followers' interest. The question is going to pop up on your screen, and I want you to attempt the question and provide adequate answers to them. However, if you think you are not right, or you fail to provide the right answers to them, then you should flip back this clip and take another look at the video once again.